Hi everybody, hello, it's Ivor Chester, your balance coach. Thank you so much for your time today as I deal with tech issues that are happening simultaneously. Today we're going to be doing another music therapy song with one that's called I'm Not Who I Was. Now I've been using this song since it came out back in 2007, and it is a very, very powerful song that speaks of process. Now, the author or writer, Brandon Heath, is a Christian artist, but the song doesn't give too much of an inclination of that. I do want to go over some of the lyrics real quick because it starts off with a temporal concept. It says, I wish you could see me now. I wish I could show you how I'm not who I was. So we have now and was. That's growth, folks. That's process. Now, what is was? Well, was could be last week. It could be this morning if you've had a day. It could be 10 years ago. And each one of those are accepted moments of your past. And then what is now? Well, now could be this very second. It can be when you decide to make a change and make a difference. It could be this morning as well. But whatever it is a moment where you acknowledge a change from what you were to what you are. And finally, that understanding is that you're not completely arrived. You haven't gotten exactly where you want to be. His lyrics, then the next verse says, I used to be mad at you and a little on the hurt side too. Do you know it's okay to be mad at people you love? If you look at my arguing paper, which is on ivorchester.com, if you look at that paper, you'll see that it is okay to be mad with people that you love. However, you're not allowed to be aggressive physically, mentally, spiritually to them. You're not allowed to play the victim. And you have to watch how you say these things. You can't say things like, I'm very angry. Excuse me, you make me very angry. You have to say things like, I'm very angry with you. Take responsibility for it. And then he goes on to say, I found my way around to forgiving you, but I never got to tell you so. I do whole papers on forgiveness. There's blog posts on it, and there's also videos on it back at Ivor Chester. Feel free to go and reference those because I just don't have the time on this particular post to get into that. I want you to understand, though, that one, God always forgives, so therefore we are called to always forgive. Now, that's not comfortable because I don't know about you, but I've had some people that have really harmed me. On the other hand, I've done my fair share as well. So I pray that I am forgiven as I forgive, because as the Bible says, that's a true statement. So therefore, we are called to always forgive, because God himself always forgives. And if you somehow hold yourself accountable, you continue to rip yourself up because, well, you just don't know what I've done, and I'm a really bad guy, and I've done a lot of stupid stuff. Well, know this. You're not impressing God by ripping yourself up, by beating yourself up more and more. Matter of fact, it's a sin, because if you're holding yourself above God, you think you are God. Because you don't forgive yourself, you don't accept his forgiveness. You forgive yourself, you have to start acting like it. Now, back to the song concepts, he says, when the pain came back again like a bitter friend, it was all I can do to keep myself from blaming you. Blame. When we blame outside experiences or people, what we do is we rob ourselves of power. We give away power. We don't have it taken from us. We give it away. So we have to stop blaming. As somebody once said to me very convictingly, Ivor, how much of this do you want to be your fault? And being the immature soul that I was, because I'm not who I was, I said, well, none. He said, well, then you don't get to partake in any of the improvement. You don't get to own it. So sure enough, I started to claim more, and I started to get more. And then it says, he says, I write about love and such, maybe because I want it so much, but I'm not who I was. And I was thinking maybe I should let you know that I am not the same. That's important to do. If you've had a major life change in your life, you need to let people know, I'm not the same. I want you still in my life. I want you still there. But on the other hand, I'm not the same. I'm processing, I'm changing, I'm growing. People who love and support you will take part in that. They'll welcome that change. People who you make uncomfortable will try and enable your worst behaviors because it's inconvenient for them or scary. You still move on. You still go to the next phase. The thing I find most amazing is Amazing Grace is the chance to give it out. Maybe that's what love is all about. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because grace is a gift from God to show that he loves us and he gave his only son. So when we understand that we are not who we were, it could be just a bite-sized moment about how you don't respond or react, I should say, to certain old triggers that you used to have, or you don't give up so easy, or you don't enable, or you don't trigger, or you don't just look for the old lifestyle. You seek to do something different. And that way you understand, I am not who I was. I encourage people to look up the song lyrics and write their own version of it to reconcile with those who are in their lives. Because forgiveness is very powerful. But reconciliation, though you don't do it with everybody, but you forgive everybody, it's a powerful thing. So when you reconcile, you have to have some kind of form. Forgiveness is free, but reconciliation costs. Why? Because you have worth. So you have to start acting like it. Well, you can listen to the song. It's on my feed. Feel free to give it a listen. It's a great song, again, by Brandon Heath. I use it. I've been using it, like I said, since 2007. I've played it hundreds of times for patients, and it always gets a positive healing reaction. Enjoy your music. Make sure you use it to help yourself and not to trigger or open old wounds. Keep it close, keep it usable, and make it loving. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Leave comments in the windows. I'm at Instagram, Twitter, and at the Had Enough Guy here. And make sure you get information in the feed that I am posting on my upcoming workshop happening here in North Texas. It's available. Get information now. I appreciate your time. Until then, God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.